Okay, all right, we can clap.
Okay,
All right,
so
so
I'm
on
gonna go
three.
3, 2, 1, clap.
Oh, so on one. Oh no no no.
It's on
Okay, no no, I
0.
got it.
Okay,
It's on zero.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Did my mic pick it up? I hope it picked it
No,
up.
your mic didn't pick it up.
I think it does. I think it does. Does it not? Oh fuck, dude.
That's fine. It's not a big of a deal.
As long
Okay.
as I see it, it's yeah.
Anyways,
We're good.
here we are.
Yes,
We're
podcast
started.
episode 2.
Episode 2
Wow.
of the
Yeah.
critical at best.
Critical at best. I hope my kids, see this one day and they're just like, wow,
Yeah, look
my
at
dad is
them.
really cool.
They showed up to their
Yeah.
podcast and they had nothing to critique, and it's called critical at best.
Oh, we could critique anything. Dude, I could
Did
throw
you see
anything out
Batman?
there we critique. Well, I mean, like, who hasn't seen Batman? You know what
I know one person. That's fine. We're not gonna talk about Batman. We'll just forget that movie ever
I'm a
came
busy
out.
guy. I'm a busy guy. I want to see Batman. I want
You
to.
were
It's
playing
just like,
Hearthstone. Are you drinking coffee?
no,
That Diet
this
Coke?
is Diet Coke with vodka. Because you said you were making a drink. So
I did make a gin and tonic, but it's a little late for caffeine, my friend. But
uh, this is the
live
only like chaser
dangerously.
I have.
That's on you.
Yeah, like that's true. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Anyways, see, look, you're already critiquing
I
me.
mean,
Look at that. That's great.
I mean, you're critiquable. The only read
Wow.
thing.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, I guess so. You're
I
right.
could critique a piece of paper.
Yeah, do
Okay.
it.
No, there's none in front of me. They don't deserve that right now.
All right.
I mean, the only thing you've really bringing up to me this week at all was,
That I brought up to you?
yeah, was basically just fat acceptance. Which I don't know if we want to even get into that subject. I'm gonna be honest.
Do we want this podcast to be like that? I don't know.
Not really. I mean,
It's wrong, right? Like, it's stupid.
I mean, Lizzo is not skinny.
Dude, Lizzo's not attractive. I'm sorry. She's just not.
Of
And I'm
course
like,
not. I mean, if you think Lizzo's attractive, I mean, I'm not gonna shame, but once somebody gets a certain size, if you find them attractive, it's now a kink. You know what I mean? Like somewhere along
I would
the
say that's a
line,
kink.
there's a
That's a
cutoff,
kink, yeah.
right? Like if you're like a normal person, it's like, okay, fat people. Oh God, fat people are normal people.
Dude,
They're just
we're
like
gonna get
they're just
canceled.
kind of like a group of normal people in the same spot. I didn't mean that. There's other ways to
God,
say
bro.
that.
Oh God!
Okay,
Wow,
we're
we lasted
definitely
one episode, and then so I didn't want to show our faces, bro. Dude,
No, it's fine. I
no,
think
but
everyone can agree that Lizzo is a little large
she's pretty fucking big.
and proud of it, you know? And it's like good for you.
She's like, I don't
Actually,
understand
no,
why
I'm gonna
it's.
take that back. It's not good. Don't be proud of that. I'm sorry. I'm taking that back.
Well,
You
I think
can't.
you should
That's
be
bad.
confident. You should be confident. It's just like, you're
Um,
fat, so it's like,
I guess we
you
could
should be
like
aware of that.
should that is something I do kind of.
What?
There's like a line there where
Okay.
you don't want to be. It's super hard because you can't work in like if everything was black and white, it'd just be so
Yeah.
fucking easy, right? If everything was a fucking light switch on off, it's so easy. But everything's on a
Mhm.
it for most things that I can think of besides like, ones and zeros and like literal electricity, like most things are spectrum, right? So when it comes to this like
No,
self-confidence
I
type
agree.
thing, it's a spectrum, right? Like for
Mhm.
someone like me, should I look at myself in the mirror and go, "Oh, you fat piece of shit. Why aren't you like 20 pounds heavier with just pure fucking muscle and 0% body fat?" Like that's unhealthy. Like you got to have
Yeah.
confidence when you're like in shape to be able to look
Oh
at
yeah.
yourself and say like, "I'm fine. This is fine. This is normal."
Mhm.
But at the same time, if you just drink a bunch of beer and like if I was to drink a bunch of beer and like gain like 10, 15 pounds, like I still wouldn't be fat at all. But it doesn't
Well,
hurt to
yeah.
have that voice in your head that goes, "Hey man, like you love yourself, but maybe tone it down a little bit, If you just love yourself in any shape or form, then you're going to become deformed, you know?
Well, I wouldn't think the whole fat acceptance thing would be that bad or bad at all if it wasn't linked to like unhealthy or like to for you being unhealthy. Like if it wasn't unhealthy, it's like all the power to you. But it's like it's unhealthy, There is a lot of
Well,
diseases that come with being obese. Um,
that's
so that's
the
yeah,
sorry,
that's my problem with it.
that's the argument that is like objective, and that's why I feel like it's hard to argue against it.
Yeah,
So the issue I have, because there's like a more subjective issue, which
there
is
is. Okay.
well, there's within it, right? So there's the what you just basically said, which is like, yeah, of course, being morbidly obese is
Yeah.
unhealthy, right?
Hmm.
Um, but to be like a little fat, is that unhealthy? It depends, like how unhealthy is that?
Okay.
So that's like a little bit harder, but I guess what I was
So
trying to
if a
touch on it is
person's a
there's a
little
social
fat,
aspect too,
yeah.
you
Okay.
know?
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, how do you mean?
Yeah, sorry, it took me a while to get to that point. Uh,
Sure.
okay, so I don't want to say that. So society and culture paints a picture of like what beauty is, right? It's a
Hmm.
certain body style, it's perpetuated, right? And you can see that like there's definitely negative aspects to that. But at the same time, I think it's important that a culture is able to identify when something has quality, when something has value, right? That's kind of important. So whether
Hmm.
that's your currency that you're using, whether that's like a certain art style which your culture has determined, or a certain music, a certain rhythmic beating on drums that your culture has decided like that has value, that has
Hmm.
quality, that has worth. Like you can't, and that's going to extend to all things inside of your culture. I think that's a really important thing inside of a culture is the ability to say that we all agree this has culture. We are sorry, quality. We all agree this has value, this has worth. And that goes into everything, right? And that's also going to go into what everyone considers to be beauty inside of that culture. And that's going to
Wait.
come into
So
the human
just to make
form.
sure, you think that every a culture should all agree on the quality of a specific thing, like, yeah, how much quality a specific thing has, if that's like attractiveness or like, um I don't know, worth of a item or something like that. Is that what you're saying? I'm just making sure I
I
have that
think
right.
that's probably a necessary aspect for a
Hmm.
functioning society is not everyone to agree, but that largely the people inside of a society for the most part kind of agree and strive
Hmm.
towards the same general concept of what has quality,
Hmm.
some sort of shared understanding of that. I feel like if you lose that completely, then you're gonna end up with somewhat of like a complete breakdown, right? Like if you can't agree as a society, like when a car has quality, it's gonna, or when a car looks good, it's gonna become extremely difficult to design cars. It's gonna be really difficult to sell cars to make people in the society happy. As an artist, it's gonna be
Okay.
extremely difficult to draw things that are appreciated if everyone in every house has a different opinion that's drastically different from the house next to them and what quality is and what value is. And it's gonna be really hard to kind of create and maintain meaningful connections between people who have completely arbitrary viewpoints on what value and quality is.
I mean, what's wrong with people having different opinions on cars? Like, we already have that now, right? It's like some people like Fiats and some people think Fiats are like dumb because they're really small and stuff, and they like sports cars or whatever.
Yeah, if
It's like,
if I was
mhm,
your friend and I thought everything you liked was bad and
mhm,
uninteresting, and you thought everything
you
I
probably wouldn't be
liked
my friend.
was bad and uninteresting, we wouldn't be friends. And if you have an entire
Yeah.
society of people who are unable to be friends, it's no longer a society. It's basically just barbarism at this point. You can't form connections anymore. So there is a certain level of agreement that has to go. This
Yeah,
is
I agree
something
with
of
that to a
quality.
certain
This is
level.
something of
Sure.
worth. This is something of value. You and that kind
Mhm.
of perpetuated into everything. Everyone kind of has to have. I mean, it's subjective. You're gonna have break aparts, but as a community, I think the more people kind of come to a similar understanding on what is beauty, you're gonna end up with a more cohesive society.
Yeah, but I don't want everyone to be at 100% agreement, right?
I'm not saying that.
Okay, so
I'm
just
saying
making sure.
this
Yeah.
is a spectrum, right? Like there's
Mhm.
gonna be like some sort of like normal distribution of what everyone in the center thinks is beautiful, and then as you taper
Yeah.
out, you're gonna have like more wild different opinions. But if like the opinions on what is beauty was just completely arbitrary, then you're gonna just have a breakdown, I think, of society. I don't know if a culture can really operate without like a large portion of what you understand to be the same in those terms, you know,
Well,
when something has quality.
I can agree with that. Yeah, because it's like, I mean, for culture to be a culture, everyone has to in there has to generally at least like certain things, right? For a culture to even exist, or just be a different culture, or be a
Yeah. I mean, the
multifaceted culture. I don't
easier
know.
argument to make is that the culture. Okay, so agreeing on value, that's a bit more of a stretch. That's harder
Okay,
to
so
come at from, but you
let
can
me
come at it from like
before
a lower level.
I just wanted to say that like going back to like the friends thing, like even if we disagree on 90% of like the things we like music, shows and stuff, but if we had the same value, is that even possible? One, and two, is that like enough to cultivate any kind of friendship? Because if it is, then I could see a culture where people have vastly different likes, but they hold the same values. I just don't know. I haven't thought about a connection of, my likes because maybe my values do actually affect the kind of music I listen to.
Um,
I'm thinking.
I would assume it. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna get a little confused on what you mean by values,
Okay, so like you more
like just
like
things you
your moral
value
values. Yeah,
or
like what do
moral
you like?
values.
Like yeah, well, it could be like you value your family, right? You
Mm-hmm.
value. I mean, I guess I'm not just talking about moral values. I'm just talking about values in general, like the value of your family, the value of life, your
Mm-hmm.
value of freedom. Is that if that's the same, does that necessarily mean that we have the same likes? Are we gonna have the same likes? Like in music, in movies, in
I think
cars
some
and stuff. Does that
things.
lead to the same thing?
I
Like I don't know.
I
Like
think some things. I think you're gonna have overlap on a lot of things there, just from like a base
I don't know.
level.
Yeah.
Because I don't think these things like exist in a vacuum. Like if you're the
Yeah.
type of person who values family, who values like let's say free speech, independent thinking, all those type of things, you're going like those don't exist in a value. Those are all gonna like be somewhat correlated to the rest of your viewpoints in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically just outlining a person who thinks a certain way. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, if you think a certain way and someone else thinks a certain way, then you're like-minded individuals, and the chances that like-minded individuals are going to have like similar tastes in things isn't like exactly crazy. And even if you don't exactly like the same thing that they're into, you're probably still able to identify the quality in it.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I do see the point of need of like having a certain of people agreeing or just a general agreement of what good quality what is the quality of something. Like for cars, I guess it's like we know a good running car. Like we have at least that quality, right?
Hmm.
Um
So maybe we're
like it
tackling way too much at once right now, and we could bring it and just focus just on like maybe the word beauty to get ourselves on track. So like, does a
Okay.
culture need to agree, like somewhat, it's a spectrum, right?
Okay.
But do you have to have like most of the people in your culture or your society agreeing on what beauty is when they see it?
I don't know. I don't know necessarily beauty. I definitely think that to have a people in one culture, like a functioning culture, they do have to agree on a certain amount of things. I I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it all has to be exactly the same things or it has to be enough of the same things for it to be a culture.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely doesn't like yeah, because okay, let's think about our culture. Like, I don't think like I like music. Like, I hate country music. Some other people like country music, and
Yeah.
they also like hunting. Like, I don't. I've never gone hunting, so I don't know if I like it. And they also like, I don't know, some drink I've never liked, or they like pickles. I fucking hate pickles. You know, it's
Mhm.
like I can probably name 1,000 things that we hate. That I mean that not hate, but we have different tastes in, and probably maybe like five or a few things that we have, in common. But yet, we're still American. We're still like Western people with generally the same values. Like we probably both don't believe in like, you know, socialism, or I don't know, that's bad, or communism, or like murder. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
where's the culture there? It's too much for me to like
Well, from the ground
break
up,
down.
it's there, right? You just started saying it like,
Hmm.
um, there's the first thing is like, okay, what do we have in common? Like, okay, well we both are experiencing, being human, humanism. Like that's the first thing we have in common, right? So you're gonna be able to get along with other people for a certain amount just because they're human, and then you can bring it up to another step. It's like, okay, you're a Westerner, right? You're not from the East, right?
Yeah.
You're not someone from Russia. You're not someone from like the middle of China. Not someone from
Hmm.
India. You're a Westerner. It's like, okay, instantly,
Hmm.
it's like, okay, we have more in common now, like just out of nowhere. So now, like, you're
Hmm.
kind of like building bridges from like the bottom, all the, I guess, more like platforms, all the way up to the top. And I think like the closer you get, then like the more likely it is that you're able to kind of like form a bond with that person.
Would I be could I have a closer bond with someone from a different culture, completely separate, like communist fucking China, than somebody from, you know, my culture right here, in Texas? I think so. So it's
A
like,
stronger bond with them.
yeah, maybe I could cultivate that. Like, just, I mean, there is a situation where that could happen. Maybe. Like, if they like video games, I would think so, right? And then someone here who doesn't like video games,
Yeah, but now we're starting to draw on things that,
we have a like, but we don't have the same
yeah,
culture, right? Totally
yeah,
different
but
culture.
now
But
you're
we still
finding,
have.
well, I mean, we're built of subcultures too, right? So now you're finding like an online video game
Oh,
subculture,
okay.
which you guys might have in common.
True.
Like if all they did
True.
in gaming was play like weird Korean MMOs where you just grinded for like
Mhm.
18 hours a day and like you spent like 80% of your savings to try and like buy everything you wanted, and they're part of like
Mhm.
that community, which you're not a part of at all in the game, you probably wouldn't have much in common with them. It'd be really, you wouldn't share the same values on what you consider to be a good game. You'd have a
Mhm.
lot of disconnects. You probably wouldn't get along that well. But like, yeah, if there's someone who play all the same video games as you, they hang out in those games, they talk like people from those games. It's like, okay, well now you guys are both part of the same subculture. You put value on the same things, which is like this game
Mhm.
and the community that's inside of it. So like,
Mhm.
yeah, even though they're, I mean, the internet kind of allows that, right? Which is they can be from a completely far away culture, but you guys are kind of like both experiencing this online, subculture together, and that's
Yeah.
stronger than all the other differences.
I like
But
that.
I think
It's a subculture. Yeah.
I'd still argue that at the end of the day, it's because if you guys both didn't like find that to be a good game,
Mhm.
if you both didn't see quality in that, if you didn't see quality in the game,
Yeah.
quality in the community that used that game that made it fun to play, then you probably wouldn't have a whole lot in common there, or even
No,
much of a
yeah, I agree.
relationship to build.
There's probably certain points in there if we break that down that we agree on. Just like the gameplay, the beauty of, the art style, the story,
Hmm.
the camaraderie in, playing an online game like that. Yeah, okay. I can definitely see that. So,
So
yeah,
basically, that means Lizzo's fat.
yeah, I don't know. This all comes back to Lizzo being fucking fat. Dude, it's the thing about culture is like it's hard for me to fucking understand. Like
Yeah.
maybe
The
it's
reason
just
we even went
it's
on that
me.
tangent. Sorry, I'll let you.
No, 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 please. No, no,
I was
please.
gonna say, well, because
I
we got that all started off like such a simple thing, which I was just basically arguing that it's not bad that society has this idea on what a beautiful person is. Like, I don't think that's bad. And you don't have to be the archetypal beautiful man or the archetypal beautiful woman
Mhm.
in your society to be happy. But I think you should realize that as a society and as a culture, what makes you unified is that you do think alike, right? Like, not everyone can be a completely unique person
Mhm.
with arbitrary thoughts and likes and feelings and sit together in a community. It just doesn't work that way. You guys have to kind of work as a unit. That's what it means to
Yeah.
be part of a society, part of a community. And part of that is these people are going to get together and they're going to kind of agree somewhat on what beauty is. And that means you're gonna
Mhm.
kind of come to an agreement on what a beautiful person looks like. You're not gonna have full scale agreement. You know, some people might like girls with long hair or blonde hair or brown hair or short
Yeah.
hair. Like that's fine, right? That's different.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, most of them are gonna like girls who fall within like a certain body shape. And most girls are gonna like guys who have a certain thing about them, right? This is just pure beauty. We're not talking about other things there.
Yeah.
But so I think you should be aware when you're starting to deviate from that with your decisions. So it's like one thing if you're born a certain way, you don't look like that. Like that's just kind of how it is. But if there is this kind of like idea of what your society considers to be beautiful, and you're just continually deviating away from what that concept is in the society that you're a part of because of personal decisions you're making that come out of pure laziness. I
That's the
think I
thing.
think you should be worried
Yeah.
about that.
If it's out of laziness, I mean, if you have like a medical, condition, like I get it. Like that sucks, but I mean
Hmm.
that's yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
there's
thing. It's like the hard thing about having beauty standards in a society is that not everyone's going to meet those beauty standards. And like in today's world, that extra sucks because of dating apps and everyone's face. Like you see beauty everywhere in
hmm
Instagram and TikTok, and you start to see the top 1% of people out there of beauty standards, and you start thinking like, oh, there's something wrong with me. When that's not true. It's like most people are not like that. So there is good in what Lizzo's trying to do, like put body positivity. Like I do think body positivity is good in general. It's just it
hmm
is straying too far from, like you were saying, the cultural standard of beauty in a very, like, for me, dark way. Because when I say dark, I mean it's just unhealthy. Again, like I know I keep going back to
yeah.
unhealthy, but there is a that is really what is bothering me there. Like I like girls can have a trend where they shave their heads, and I would be like, yeah, I'm just not into that. And I don't think they would be as mad at me, But for some reason, when it comes to like being overweight, it's it's just a huge problem. And that's like I don't actually understand why. I know I have problems with me, like I
hmm
know I'm not in the best physical shape, but I just accept that. It's like, okay, obviously guys that are in better physical shape are going to look better. Like I can look better if I want it to look better, right? I'm not going to go and like try to get people to tell me, try to convince people that no, I'm actually, in top physical, you should be attracted to me, right? It's
hmm
I don't understand. I don't quite understand that. And if I were to think, I like it just seems like more and more people trying to reach out, like trying to expand what it means to be in the top 1% of beauty instead of like trying to strive for it,
hmm
which is there's a lot of good and bad there, because I,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a loss in confidence in
Actually, I
there. Because
actually
if you
think you're
keep,
like touching on why I was gonna actually come in and say I actually don't think body positivity
oh,
is a
okay,
good thing.
yeah,
I
no, go
think it's
ahead,
kind of like what you said right there. They're trying to just expand the top 1% in the definition
yeah,
of it. Like, I'm
yeah,
not gonna make myself
change
look
beauty
better.
standards.
I'm
That
just gonna
yeah,
expand what it means to be beautiful, and then I'm gonna be in it because I want to be
mhm,
beautiful. It's like that's what I don't like about what I've seen in body positivity.
mhm,
The way they're gonna frame it, I guess, to like strawman their argument or to a steelman their argument is that
yeah,
it's kind of just about not feeling like shit about yourself. So you should like wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and that's where I'm already gonna disagree. Look at yourself and go, I look great. I look
okay.
amazing. I already disagree
So
with it right then and there, to be honest.
I think that's good that they.
No.
Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. Expanding the top 1% of beauty, it's good to have confidence and to give yourself confidence. But when you
hmm
try to match yourself with the top 1% and then you go out in the world and they don't treat you like the top 1%, like that is, you're setting yourself up for failure. So what I see as good body positive for as like what I support in body positivity is you should be comfortable in your own skin. Like I know it's easier for a guy. Like girls definitely have it harder
Yeah.
than guys do. But when I go out, I don't think about that stuff, right? Like I'm not the best shape, but I feel confident. It's not like I ever felt like that held me back. Of course I'm not obese, but it's just I have a certain I'm old enough where it's like some of that insecurity kind of like fell off.
Hmm.
It's like I've had and that also comes with the territory of being a guy. It's like I went out, I've asked a bunch of girls out, I've got rejected. I went on many dates, I've had girlfriends. It's just like I've been through it. Like I'm just because I grown to be comfortable in my own skin, and
Yeah.
I think that's good body positivity. But if you are just trying to expand, you know, and you go out there, because if you expand what Lizzo's trying to do, I feel like you're still putting so much value on your looks and not the other
And
traits of
that's what I was
yourself.
gonna say is, but where I think body positivity kind of like fails on whatever its mission may be, um,
Yeah.
it's that I think the purpose should be less body positivity and just less body negativity, right? I think the issue is that people need to be stop being so negative about their own bodies. But if
Yeah.
you're not a beautiful person, I don't think you're doing yourself any favors by waking up in the morning, looking at your average body and going, "Look how beautiful I am." It's like,
Yeah.
cuz now you're just all you're doing is creating a delusion, right? Like, should you beat yourself up over the fact that you weren't born a perfect beautiful person? Like, no, you shouldn't do that. And the fact that you don't eat this immaculate diet where everything's portioned means you're going to have like a little bit of excess weight. You don't hit the gym every single day. Sometimes you actually live your life, right? That means you're not going to look perfect. Um and I think to like sit in the mirror and just kind of gloss over all of that and still keep a high value on image in general. Like you're not reducing your value on image. You're just kind of putting yourself into this delusion where
Yeah. It's a
you still
delusion.
have
Yeah,
this
I
high
agree with that.
value on body. But you've
Yeah.
now just kind of squeezed yourself into there. And I think you see this a lot. Like a good example where you might see this is someone, I don't know if you've ever seen this on social media where some people will like go from being anorexic to like working out, like having amazing body and being in like perfectly good shape, but
Mhm.
like to me they're still mentally unhealthy. I was like, okay, so you went from having a completely unhealthy idea of self-image by being anorexic to somebody whose entire identity is composed of I'm in great shape now. I go to the gym every single day. I'm literally perfect now. It's like, okay, you just kind of flipped from one side to the other. So that's not good either.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
like, and that's just
it's a
body positivity pushed to the maximum where now they're just so positive about their
yeah.
body. It's like we just need to take focus off of the body. You don't need to lie to yourself, right, about how you look. You can be realistic with yourself. You're like, I'm a 5 out of 10, but and I'm not gonna like convince myself I'm 9 out of 10, but I'm not gonna let it ruin my fucking day.
Well,
I think that's a
that
more realistic approach
yeah.
and like healthy.
Yeah, well, it's like what I was saying earlier. It's like so much like the anorexic person. It's so much is being put on their looks, and not that's not healthy.
Hmm.
It's you. I've been through that. I've so many years of my life have I put so much to my looks and put myself down because I thought I like looked bad and stuff. And I don't think I have. I mean, I'm under no illusion that I'm a 10 out of 10. But it's like um people, and I do blame a little bit, again, technology and Instagram and TikTok and that stuff because you get
Hmm.
force fed all these good looking people all the fucking time. So you really feel left out and you really feel down on your looks because of that. And a lot is being put on looks. But it's like someone like Lizzo could look in the mirror and be like, and not to pick on Lizzo, but it's just
It's
like,
just
I
a
mean,
random meme.
I
That's why
know,
this
it's
started.
just,
It was just a
I,
meme. Okay, that's why this
I
all
should have never said
started.
that to you.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, she could probably be, a really beautiful person in my eyes if she like worked out, and stuff. But like, okay, whatever. Getting off topic. If she looked, she's got other qualities, bro. She's actually got a really good voice. Like, I actually like one of her songs. It's very catchy, she probably is pretty funny. Like she seems really outgoing. She's got a lot of other traits going for
Hmm.
her. And that's something that I don't feel like a lot of people put, like it's kind of taken the back burner, in in our society, which kind of sucks. It really does seem like looks overall is being put in the forefront of everything nowadays. Yeah, it
Mhm.
does feel like that. And I'm talking like from a single guy too. Like, dude, I go on dating apps. Um, it's all looks. It's all looks. And
It's
looks
rough out
are
there.
important when it's well, for some people, what can I say though, Oh, but dude, it's all looks. It's all looks. It's insane. And although looks are important, it's just if you're a girl, you're seven or not 17, I guess you have to be 18. That was terrible. And you're on a dating app, dude, you're like dude, you're gonna have such a dose of just it's all these guys are just gonna be swiping you for your looks. Like it's
Mhm.
it's that's a problem I don't know even know how to start to solve right now, So I mean look, I've had insecurities. I'm a guy. I can't imagine how it is for girls. So like I don't know, we just have to put more emphasis on other values. Um
Less body positivity, less body
less body pie.
negativity, I think.
Less
Because body positivity, I mean, it's just calling attention to looks again. It's just like if you want to solve the problem, I think you need to just stop paying as much attention to it.
I just
Um,
think body positivity is going at it the wrong way. Okay, I can agree with you with that. Like if we're
yeah,
gonna say obese people are really attractive, that's the wrong thing to do.
yeah,
Body positivity should be like you're who you are. Learn to accept that, and accentuate your best qualities.
yeah.
That's it.
hmm
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I guess we agree on that.
We've solved body positivity.
I have to pee
You're
so bad.
welcome,
I'll
world.
be right back. All
Okay,
right, we're gonna
yeah.
take a
Leave me
2 minute.
here to entertain all by myself.
Yeah, you got it, bro. Uh
It's okay. He's gonna be right back. This is fine. I'm gonna be honest. That was a 32-minute rant on body positivity. Um, and that's okay. I don't think we got anywhere. I know we're killing that subject. We're moving on. I don't want to talk about Lizzo
Yeah,
anymore. I don't want to talk about
I
body positivity or fat people. I have thoughts on this. I don't even think I really clarified them that well, but I'm done with that subject. It's kind of
oh, I
boring. We're
am.
being a dead horse.
I'm no, I agree, dude. I just kept peeing. I was like, dude, when is this stream gonna end? Because I could hear you, right? And I was like, dude, I felt so bad. All right. Yeah, no, dude, we can. Yeah,
Enough of the
fucking
body
body
positivity.
positivity.
I'll say
Yeah, dude.
that. I will say, is there any movies that are on your list?
Dude.
What do you want to see?
Oh.
What you looking
Um.
at? What's on the
Well,
list?
Lizzo's coming out with something popping.
A movie? A song? We're not talking about Lizzo anymore.
I'm kidding.
You
I'm
know how
kidding.
awful this entire podcast would be if you didn't know who Lizzo was? Because I'll be honest, I don't even really know who she is.
Everyone. Oh, you don't? Oh, everyone knows who
I've
Lizzo
never
is.
heard
What the
her
fuck?
song before.
Oh, dude, she's got a catchy song. It's really bitchy and stuff. I love it. I love her energy. I love the big girl energy. You know what I mean? Damn, I do not
Big
want this
girl
podcast to go out.
energy. Big girl energy. Interesting that you would label her as
You know,
such.
Oh my god. Okay. Movies that are coming out that I want to see. Oh fuck.
I'm a terrible person.
No. Yeah, are we terrible people? I
No,
feel
I just
like we're
asked you
not.
what movie you want to see, and you said, I don't know, Lizzo's fat. I'm like, I didn't ask that question.
Say that? I didn't say that. I didn't fucking say that,
Okay,
bro.
what is on?
Should trans people participate in sports. Go.
Oh god, everyone
No.
knows the answer. There's no
No, we're not.
reason.
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
There's no
Just
reason to ask a question where everyone knows the answer. So
yes,
let's move on.
exactly. Yeah. Okay.
What's on your list? I was think
You want me to come up with the topic? I could come up with the topic. Oh, I'll do it.
I was just curious what movies you want to watch. But
I don't know. There's like nothing. The only thing that's on my list right now is Batman, of course, and I haven't watched the new episodes of that Marvel Moon Knight show, which I want to get to.
I don't even know what that is.
Don't worry about it. We already talked. We talked. We beat it. We talked about superheroes enough, so
Yeah, I
don't
thought
worry
about
about
that
it.
last time. I was like, dude, we talked about Marvel so much, people must maybe more positive things. I don't know. This podcast ain't about positivity though.
Okay, what's
So
your what? Okay. Fine. Look, I personally, the more I think about Tenet, I'm starting to like it. I kind of want to
what
rewatch
the
it.
more you
So
think of okay, you want to rewatch Tenet?
okay.
God, you do that to me. Ugh.
It seems I don't know. I want to give it another try. I feel like I was so lost the first time, but the second time, if I were to rewatch it, I might understand it more. Um,
I think if
I
we
think he
watched
was too pretentious. I think Christopher Nolan, he's actually a brilliant guy, but that movie he went a little bit too pretentious. Like he was trying way too hard. But I like the premise a lot. I'm thinking about who's Batman. I forgot who Batman is. I love that guy now. What's his name?
the Twilight guy,
I want to say
Chris
Edward
Bumstead. Yeah.
Snowden. Edward Snowden. Um,
Yeah, Edward Snowden. Was that? He's not. Is he in Tenet? He's not in Tenet.
Edward Snowden isn't he the guy that is exiled to Russia because he released all the NSA documents?
Yeah, but I was just using him as an alias for the dude from
Oh,
Twilight because I don't know his name.
yeah. So we just call him Edward Snowden. Snowden. Ha. I forgot his name. Yeah, he's Batman, and he's in
Yeah.
Tenet. He's the white guy in Tenet. Yeah.
Oh man, I obviously don't remember Tenet that well because I just remember the main character was a black dude, right?
Yeah, that's Denzel Washington's son. Did you know that?
Oh, I probably did
Yeah,
at the time. I
that's
guess
crazy
I
to
would
me.
rewatch it. I just remember it being not a good movie.
Well, I
And I'm
can't think of
using.
any original movies that came out since then. You know what I mean? Like, what else have I watched
Well,
that's
why do we
original?
gotta watch something that came out since then?
Well, I'm just thinking in
Oh,
general.
well, I wanted to watch Demolition Man.
Wait, what? What's that about? With Jake Gyllenhaal?
I think it has Sylvester Stallone. It's like him
Wait.
in. I think pretty sure that's the movie where like he gets frozen and then gets like thawed in the future, and that's where like Taco Bell won the arms race for all food, and now every single place to eat is just Taco Bell.
Wait, then the one that came out in 1993?
I believe. So. Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
Sylvester
I
Stallone.
hella want to watch that. Oh my god, the
I've been
plot for
one.
that looks insane. Oh, dude.
Like he
And it has
basically gets
Wesley Snipes?
frozen in the past, while he's fighting, and then they get to the future, and like there's not even crime anymore, basically. And I think
Yeah.
maybe Wesley Snipes is the bad guy, but there's the bad guy.
I think he is.
Like he
Yeah.
also gets thawed, and he's like causing trouble. So they're like, "Well, we don't have crime anymore. What do we do?" So they have to fucking thaw Sylvester Stallone to go fight crime. Um, it sounded cool. I don't even know how that premise right because someone just explained it to me. But it's
No,
enough for
that
me to
sounds
want to
right.
go. I think I watched it when I was a child, but I want to watch it again.
Yeah, I think it
So
was
that's on my
something to
list.
do. Yeah, that's on my list too. Someone else actually has told me that this is it was a good movie like when they saw it. So,
Hmm.
yeah, that is definitely on my list. I just want to see like action fucking no I don't want to say no brain, but not I just want a nice fucking action movie. You know what I mean? I need more of those in my
Mm.
life.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
dude, just go
Demolition Man
watch
seems one of them.
Blade. Just go watch Blade.
Oh yeah, that's on my list. I
Yeah,
forgot. That's
just
on
go
my
watch
list too.
Blade. And I watched that review you sent me. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Not as
I
good as our conversation about Blade in
I
podcast
actually think
one,
that
but
we that's true. So, if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. That's an amazing conversation. Lizzo was not mentioned once.
factual.
What's on my list though? I don't know. There's a bunch of indie movies that I want to see, but I haven't like I don't know the names off the top of my head. I
Mm. I could
I just
easily name some off the top of my head that I'd like. Some I've like. I
yeah.
would like to see. I wanna go watch Demolition Man, of course, like I just said. Also, I'm just curious to finish out the rest of Satoshi Kon's movies that he has. Even though
Oh
I'm
yeah.
scared just by the previews that I'm not gonna like any of them as much as I like Perfect Blue. So I may
Yeah,
just have to like just
Godfather. I
get
don't know
over
about that
it.
one.
Yeah, Godfather's it's still rated really well though. So like
It
I don't
is.
know. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, it has Paprika, and Paprika's like super, basically just a fucking classic by people who are in the know. So I would
Yeah.
like to eventually get around to watching those. I don't know why I just haven't yet, but I would like to get around to watching those, and I'd also like to get around to watching. I'm blanking on the name of it. It's just one Korean film. Hmm.
Parasite.
No, I also saw
That was
Parasite.
a good movie.
That was a good movie. I didn't like it quite as much as you guys, but it wasn't a bad movie at all.
Well, it did fucking fall off in the end. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Man, I can't
Okay,
remember this, and I kind of want to like
dude. I
look
don't
at
have
it
time
now.
to. I feel like I don't have time to watch anything. I'm just so distracted with like
No, you just probably
YouTube
play too much. Oh yeah, yeah.
and
You're
video
yeah.
games.
You're gonna
Yeah,
say it for
YouTube.
me.
Well, I'm a casual video. Yeah, I was gonna say it. Yeah, I'm not in denial. I'm not like out here working out and like trying to make a $1 million company. I'm doing nothing. Spend
Literally
so
just
much
type
time.
in Korean film classics. I can't remember.
I'm trying to think what I like want to see. I just can't think of anything. I want to rewatch a bunch of stuff. Like I want to watch Lost in Translation again. That movie, like when
Never
I was
seen it.
younger, that I don't think you would like it. A lot of the stuff I liked when I was younger was a lot of like romantic comedy stuff. Although I would not, I don't know if that's a romantic comedy per se, but um, it's with Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson. Oh man, it's a lot of existential shit, and I kind of like eat that stuff up. So I want to watch that. I also want to watch Fooly Cooley again, just because the fucking soundtrack is so good.
I
Um,
would probably watch that again, but I feel like I gotta wait longer to watch it. I'm not quite ready for
it,
that.
it was 4 years for me, so or five, maybe five.
Yeah. All I know is I can't find the name of this movie that was on my list, and that's kind of bugging me. Oh well, that is what it is. I'll just never see that movie in my entire life.
You know what one? What movie won Best Picture in the Oscars?
Oh, do we care?
You're right. Oscars are dumb.
Because
Whatever.
Will Smith won an Oscar for a movie I never heard of.
Oh yeah, dude. That's the thing. They keep movies I've never heard of keep winning Oscars, bro. Oh, Coda? Oh, that's the one that Apple TV fucking sponsors.
Really? That's kind of silly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's stupid. I don't know. I've never heard of this movie. Dude, there's so many movies I haven't heard of that's just praised by everybody. I feel like I'm like missing.
Like
I
Tokyo
just feel like
Godfathers.
there's just what's Tokyo Godfather? Oh, the fucking uh
Toshi
the
Kon,
anime.
bro.
Yeah. Dude, there's just so many movies out there, and I just don't have the time to watch all of them anymore. I hate being an adult, but I also like I
You
don't want to watch that
have
many movies.
time. You just don't want to use your time for that, and
Dude,
that's
my
fine.
free time, dude, I feel like I'm not the only one. How many people out there go home? Okay, I'm just a gamer. Maybe I just don't understand. I'm just like I'd rather play video games than watch movies right now. And it's terrible because it's like I feel like I'm losing. I don't think video games might be the least productive thing I've ever done. And it's the thing I probably have done the most in my life, which is crazy. Because I
Yep.
feel like when I watch
Agreed.
movies, yeah,
That's
right.
the
I
one
mean,
benefit of having a girlfriend who doesn't game, I guess, is that when she wants to hang out, we're not gonna like play video games. We're gonna watch something, right? So like
yes,
last time we
yes.
watched Gladiator. So it's like, okay, I'm not playing video
Wait, why?
games, but
Has
I'm
she seen
culturing.
Gladiator?
She'd never seen it.
Oh, I love. showing people good fucking movies, bro. Oh my
Me
god.
too. Yeah. Except she got
It's
complaining because she didn't like the soundtrack. She's like, "Oh, the soundtrack's annoying." I'm like, "Did you dare say anything?"
dude, kick her out of the fucking
No, it's fine. She said it was like a
That
little
part.
cheesy. I get it. She
What's
wasn't out of
cheesy? I
line.
mean, badass? Is that what she meant? Does she never learn that word? She got
um,
confused, obviously.
but
Dude.
yeah, but and she liked it. She thought it was a good movie, so she's allowed to live. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's
No,
good, and like that's also why I saw Blade because I watched it with her, right? And I was like, damn, I like that movie. So
dude, honestly, my ex and I played video games all the time. That's all we did. I People want a girl that games. I understand that. I agree with you, bro. Like, I kind of need a break from video games. I don't have self-control, so I need some kind of self-control. And I like, yeah, I need that self-control because if I'm left to my own device, or if I am in a relationship with someone that games, all I'm gonna do is game.
mhm.
Not that I'm like, and I'm not good at gaming either. I don't know if anything I'm good at. I'm better than you, but that's not saying much. So,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah, dude. Like, I don't know. 1v1 me, bitch. But whatever. No, you won't.
it's
You
not,
probably
it's not the,
wouldn't.
it's not the time for this right now.
All right. Anyways, um, yeah. I will also say that when it comes to like introducing films to a certain amount of people, I have friends where I would introduce Gladiator to. I guarantee you they won't like it, just because there is a distinct difference in movies that came out before like 2000. I want to say around 2012 and before, and movies now. Like it's just movies now are just pretty fast paced, and I get what she means, your girlfriend, when she says cheesy. I don't see it as cheesy. It's really slow and it's really like themat. I can't say the word. It's
Thematic.
like it builds up thematic. Yeah, thank you. Um, because it's like it builds you up. Like you watch Gladiator, you hear the score, you hear like they're trying to capture the emotion, and it's like again, it's not meta, So it's like it knows it's a movie and it tries to produce like show it to you like a movie would show you. It brings
Hmm.
all those elements together. When nowadays it's like everything is super meta or whatever, um and fast paced, and it's just like when you start getting consuming that over and over again, and you watch old movies like Gladiator or like old movies like Gladiator, it's gonna seem cheesy to you. Like I have so many friends where I could show, if I show any of the movies from the 90s, they would think it's like ancient, which is blows my fucking mind. It just blows my mind.
I mean, that's where like some of the best movies are, especially
Of
if you want to
course.
look in the animated realm, which a lot of people
Yeah.
won't make that leap. That's fine, I
Which is
guess.
different. Like you think about the anime, even the anime then is slower. Like you think about, I'm surprised Cowboy Bebop is so fucking popular still because it is slow. There's a lot of nothingness in Cowboy Bebop, but the thing is like you're enjoying the world. You're hanging out with like one of the coolest guys in the fucking universe, like Spike Spiegel. You know what I mean? It's like you're
Isn't he
just
that cool?
chilling. I think it's fucking cool.
They make him pretty cool. They don't make him. They don't always make him cool though, but sometimes
Yeah,
he's
that's
the
true.
butt
Like
of the
he's
joke.
silly.
So
Yeah, but he's still cool to me. It's subjective, all right?
hmm
So even when he's the butt of the joke.
that's
So it's
why
like,
he's so cool, actually.
yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that, actually. Yeah,
because
I
he's
do.
real, right? It's the same with like Vash, right?
I was
Which
thinking
that's
shotgun too.
my favorite. So
No.
he's like kind of a joke.
Really?
They're,
That's your
they're
favorite
constantly
anime.
making him the butt of the joke. Oh, I don't really do favorites. I,
Oh
pr-
yeah.
I mean, so it depends. Like, do we want to get objective? Like, oh, does this have the highest rating of all the animes? Right? I'm not gonna go
No,
there.
we don't do that. We don't do that.
Um,
Remember, we don't do that. We don't
um,
do that. What's your favorite
all I'm gonna
anime?
say is that like I have a stronger emotional connection to Trigun than any other anime I've ever seen.
Whoa.
So a lot of
Wow.
that has to go with the age I saw it at. A lot of it has to go with yeah, probably the age I saw it at and when it came to my life. I guess I don't know. For me, I have the strongest emotional connection to that specific show.
Yeah.
Um, and I think Vash is like the coolest main character that's ever existed, for sure.
I
But that's just bias,
love
which is fine.
I love there's a thing about animes that I really like, and that's the cheesy thing is, they show a character who looks really weak, and then he becomes like a really strong and like heroic person. Like he turns out he's always been that way or something like that. Like he's like,
Mhm.
people are misperceiving him. And as a kid, that's very influential because I always felt like I was weak and stuff, and and I was
Uh-huh.
like not cool, but or I thought that like people I was very insecure about that. And seeing animes like that, and it's like, oh no, he's actually really the cool guy. Like I don't know, that has a lot of like meaning to me. Even still,
They
the stuff
also
that
do the opposite, which is um not only does like the weak guy get really strong, but the strong guy actually weak sometimes, right?
true.
And they do that
Hmm.
like, sometimes in like the silly comedy scenes and stuff like that, but they do both. The weak guy becomes strong and the strong guy is also weak. So,
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Well, okay,
see
but the
about
thing
that.
is, like, when is the strong guy being weak? A lot of times, like, I could think of it's like he's like the butt of the joke, right? It's the DBZ guy, with the curly afro hair who like interviews people. Like he was seen as like the fighting champion of the world, and he turns out to be just some random human that is super weak. It's like for me as a kid, I took that as you know looking at the bullies in school or like the people who you perceive to be, I don't know, really cool and stuff. It's like, oh, they can also be really weak. You know what I mean? It's like
hmm
those could be also be flawed people. I mean, that's how I took it as a kid, and
The
I
coolest
like I don't know.
character, I mean, it's just, well, I guess that's up for debate, but the strongest character is Goku, and he's one of the goofier, if not the goofiest of the entire cast of main characters. So,
Yeah. Well, okay, but that's also like as a kid, that's also kind of like cool for me because it's like you don't have to be the main guy. Oh, to be the main character and the strongest person doesn't mean you have to necessarily be the coolest person. It's just like if
hmm
you work hard enough, you can get there. And look, I'm making all these comparisons and I'm making all these like statements because I put myself in the main character all the fucking time. And that's what I
of
appreciate about
course.
anime. It's because it's like I do that and I feel like I'm the cool guy. I feel like I'm the strong guy. And when you have those cool moments and what anime does the best to build up those cool moments, like you feel like you are the one having those cool moments. And that's why I like Trigun. Like I get why you like Trigun. Like when those two girls find out that he's like the total fucking badass that he is, dude, I'm like fuck, that's just so cool. It's like that's
He's
right.
such a nice guy.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's I don't know how we got here, but I thought Berserk was your number one. I'm so fucking shocked.
Oh, well, Berserk's also like my number one.
What?
I can have multiple number ones. That's fine.
No, you can't.
Why can't I have multiple number ones?
You can't. It's literally impossible. Ask me what my number one is.
If I went and watched Trigun,
Yeah.
then it would be the show I feel strongest about. If I went and watched Berserk,
Oh,
then it
I
would
see
be
what
the
you mean.
show I feel strongest about. Right?
Oh.
Like I don't
Yeah, but
my
can't you
emotions
like
aren't like perpetually lasting through my entire life about a show.
okay, but can you like okay, that's fair. But can you also remember how emotional you were when you saw that show? Like what gave you the most emotion? Should that be considered? Into your
Um,
like, what's your number one?
you
Because
know,
it's probably Trigun, right?
for me, um, I probably just don't have the greatest memory. So it's probably
I
just
don't
always it's
either,
always
bro.
just going to be changing for me. Like
Yeah.
once you brought up Berserk, I was like, oh, I didn't even think about Berserk. Right? Like I've
You
seen
didn't
so
even
many
think about it,
things.
dude.
When I said Trigun was my favorite, I didn't even think about Berserk. And now I think about Berserk, it's like, oh, holy shit, bro, that was pretty
Dude, that
fucking intense. And that's one of the few things where the second time I saw it was
it
twice as
ruined me,
intense for
bro.
me. So
Twice? That's fucking insane.
yeah, the
Yeah, the ending
second
of Berserk
time
is.
I liked it. That's weird. The second time it had a bigger impact on me,
Mhm.
but I thought the show, I noticed the flaws in the show more. Like I noticed all of
I
like
can't even think of any
the
flaws.
art issues in the show. I noticed all of like kind of like the setting issues, like how dated
Really?
some of it was. Like I noticed visually how much more that show was lacking the
Hmm.
second time I saw it than the first time. But
Yeah.
the second time it was like it hit me like emotionally harder, which was weird. But that made me like that just kind of like solidified that it's probably like one of my favorite shows. Um
Yeah,
it's
dude.
right
I
next
like.
to Trigun. They're both a little different. Trigun's is definitely a lot more comedy focused than Berserk. That's just a
Yeah.
completely different mood. And it's a completely different type of emotion. Berserk is a much stronger emotional feeling, at least for me, but it wasn't as positive. So, I
I
mean, I don't
mean,
know. They're just different.
Berserk had a fucking impact on me for sure, but I still think
Don't you dare say
Cowboy Bebop
Okay, thank God.
is my no, dude. Fully Cooley is my top 10.
Hmm.
But Fully Cooley is good because the soundtrack is just so good, and then when I saw it, I was the right age for it, you know.
Hmm.
So that
I
was why it's
wish
good.
I had seen Fully Cooley.
When you
Just
were a teenager,
yeah, I wish I had seen it when I was a teenager. I think it would have meant so much more.
it would have because I saw it when I was 19. So I was like, yeah, I was just on the cusp, but it still meant a lot to me. Like I understood it's girl shit, man. It's like every guy can relate to that, you know? It's like it's becoming a man,
Hmm.
essentially, you know? It's like, yeah, it's such a, and I like movies like that.
I
What
would
is it?
watch
Coming
it
of
again.
age, you
The
know?
next time I watch it, I'm definitely gonna get high.
Bro, oh, we could watch the new Fooly Cooly that came out that everyone said is not as good. Because they came out with two new seasons that are completely, they're different. They're completely different. Like, they're not completely different, but they're different shows.
Yeah, but they're not as
Oh,
good. Why would
they're
that
not as good.
sell me on it? You know, you're not selling me.
Because we're critical at best, bro. We gotta critique shit, dude. We don't just watch the top. We have to watch the bottom for people to know. Okay? We talk politics. We talk fat shaming. We talk anime. We actually have like a whole range of interests now that I think of it. Not a whole lot of talent
I
though.
mean,
Not a whole lot of not a whole we just we're just consumers. We don't make shit.